actually on 7-game winning streaks. The Grizzlies are 10-6 right now. And if you remember from last week's show and even the show before that, we spoke about how the injury to Zach Randolph may affect that team. But it seems as though that it actually has started to propel them. And the Houston Rockets are 10-7. They're on a 10-game winning streak. So they're one of the hotter teams right now this week as far as being on streaks. But once again, I'll reiterate from last week and the week before that, the Thunder, best team in the league, 14-3, and the Bulls are 16-3.
Hey, Kdub, quick question. Who's on the Houston Rockets team right now? I mean, it used to be Yao Ming, it used to be McGrady. Who's there in Houston?
Well, you got the top gunner, actually, is Kevin Martin. He plays the two guard. He was from Sacramento. He unorthodox shooter. But basically, they have a good core of role players, and I would say at this particular point, they're just with the season being as it is, you have to have a core of individuals that are just going to try to come together. And with the Rockets, they didn't make that many changes from last year, so basically, you're playing with the same squad from last year.
Okay, I feel you.
Yo, I heard Russell Westbrook got a little cheddar.
Man, Russell Westbrook signed a 5-year, $8 million contract with the Thunder. And if anything, that shows that they are committed to him and he's committed to them. And, they are a very young team that have been together for about 2 to 3 years. They know the system. And 14-3, they are the Western Conference leader right now. And, I mean, other than that loss, the bad loss they had over the weekend with the Nets, they're heads and shoulders above a lot of teams.
All right. What's up with Dwight Howard, man? He played like garbage the other night.
Well, Dwight Howard, last night what you saw was the epitome of having so many games back-to-back. For those of you who don't know, Orlando Magic played the Boston Celtics last night, and they lost. But it wasn't the fact that they lost. They only had 56 points the whole game. And at the end of the third quarter, they only had 46. So in the fourth quarter, they only scored 2 points. And what makes it kind of even crazier with Orlando is that they played against Boston, and Boston didn't have Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, and 3 of their best players. You may have saw in the highlights, Dwight Howard was getting into it with Jermaine O'Neal. I think this was just one of those games. Dwight Howard's numbers they speak for themselves, but you still have that lingering factor on whether or not he's going to leave and go to, anywhere from New York to the Lakers to the Nets to, for all we know, he could go to the doggone Ramapo Road Runners for all I know.
Wow, did you
say the Road Runners?
With Dwight Howard.
Did you just plug your school, bro?
I basically did.
Wow. I'm like, who is that?
A little shout out.
Kdub, lady in the house. Couple questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Shut up. First question. Kobe Bryant recently had his game streak of 40 points plus per game. Are the Lakers kind of starting to rebuild, or what are they going to do after this season for the rest of this season? How's that working out?
It's tough to say because you got to look at they don't really have the nucleus of the team that they had last year.
Right.
And also with Phil Jackson not being there, they're trying to learn this new system under Coach Brown. They're 10-8 right now, and they're behind the Los Angeles Clippers in their particular division. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say what the Lakers want to do. You're going to probably get, I would say, maybe another 4 years out of Kobe Bryant. I would think that Derek,
unless he gets divorced again
after this year, if not this year, next year, and then you still have that lingering factor of, will Pau Gasol get moved? Will Andrew Bynum get moved? Andrew Bynum, I've stated it last week and I stated it again, Andrew Bynum is playing himself to be an all-star and be basically one of the top, I would say, maybe 3 or 4 centers in the league right now.
Right.
804-726-3430 to get in on the discussion. That's the number to dial, 804-726-3430, globalscaleradio.com.
All right, another quick question, Kdub. Listen, the fallout. Is there any fallout from the Kobe and Vanessa split and her having the 3 houses and the $70 million and $75 and all of that good stuff? Does he even want to live in the same city as her right now?
man, you know what? If anything, for Kobe Bryant, basketball is the release. You know?
I got you.
I don't think that I don't think that that's anything that will affect his game. As far as a fallout, I guess he's looking at it like, hey, listen, you know, you can have the I think it's like 3 houses, and she gets X amount of money and stuff like that. The one thing that I would say, and this is kind of off of the subject as far as sports, the only thing that I would say that would affect him is just, you know, as if a lot of people see how close he is with his 2 little girls, you know, but I would say that would be the only thing that would be, quote unquote, a fallout from this situation. Granted, we don't know exactly what happened within the inner circles of, you know, why they broke up or what have you. But I would think that once again, that the issue would be about him not seeing his girls. But when it comes to coming to play basketball 48 minutes, you're gonna get 110% effort from out of Kobe, hurt or not.
I'd like to go on record as saying that's so trifling. 3 houses, really? You can't live in 3 houses at one time. I understand what you're saying, but man, I don't.
It ain't like
though. But it ain't like Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, she blew the house up.
She blew the house up.
So
I mean, you know,
she blew the house up, y'all. She didn't
I
like
don't care.
They had just built the house.
Man, I don't.
Just built the house.
I don't care if that. I don't care if it had roaches. I don't care if it had roaches.
You don't blow up a brand new $70 house.
That is trifling, and I don't think they should be allowed to get away with it.
It's resourceful. Very resourceful.
Yeah, way next hell was 10 years ago. Get over it.
Wow. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to direct this back to what we, you know, because I see it's getting personal. Matter of fact, let's look at that. That's more salacious.
Yeah. Bro. Hey.
Go ahead, fight some more.
What's going on with Flip Saunders?
I was going to switch it up, but I mean, then I thought about it. Hold up, dog. I thought about it.
I mean, there's no defense here. Trifling. 3 houses, $75 million.
Ruben says it's trifling.
Did the dude get a house? Does he live in an apartment? Where does he live at?
He's calling you out. He's stealing your shine. What
that's
you got
not
to say?
trifling. That's resourceful and providing for you and your daughters.
So blowing up the house?
That's trifling.
They have their own house.
That's called money. They got trust funds. Don't give me that garbage. Don't even come with that.
It's resourceful.
So I need to hear you explain to me, Dub. Hold up 1 second, because she started something. I want to know how blowing up a house is resourceful.
It had termites.
You
It was gonna get eaten anyway.
Hold on.
The house was gonna be eaten anyway.
I got a text. I got a text.
We got a text.
I got a text from a mutual friend. I'm not gonna call the friend out right now, and they're gonna listen to us for a little while until they go pick up their son.
Okay.
But they want to make sure that you're okay after your fall.
I know who that friend is, and yes, I am well.
I mean,
thank you.
You sure?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure you had a lot to fall on.
Orkin.
I fell backwards, not forwards.
Orkin. Well, they had termites on my table too. What?
Wow, big room.
Big room going hard. April not coming back anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm done.
We are just having fun.
AP is a wrap. I'm done.
Stepping with Marcus J, Big Rube, Carlton Banks, and April P. We are having fun up here, Kdub.
The house is being eaten.
Carlton Banks wants to ask Kdub a question. Yeah, he's waving his hands at me like, can we bring it down? All right, go ahead, ask your question.
I had asked about my man Flip Saunders. You know, I gotta love the name Flip. I wouldn't name my child Flip, but if you would flip or flip me off, I'd be kind of mad. So what's going on with Flip Saunders right now, Kdub?
Flip, for those that don't know, Flip Saunders actually he got fired today by the Washington Wizards. They are basically the worst team in the league, sitting at 2-15. It was a situation that he just basically lost his team. He lost his team. They were not really following him. A lot of insiders were saying that a lot of the young players wanted him to hold them accountable for their actions, and Flip Saunders is what you would call a player's coach, where he allows you to do your thing. What's kind of interesting is that when Flip Saunders first came to the Wizards, he was told, or he wanted to run a veteran-laden team. But then they cleared house of all the veterans. I think the oldest player on the team, or I should say with experience, is Rashard Lewis. A lot of people forget Rashard Lewis is in Washington. You know, and they have a real young team. You have JaVale McGee, a very long player that's there at the center spot. You have, like I stated, Rashard just don't have any direction. And unfortunately, in the NBA, when you have a situation like that, the first person that's going to go is the coach.
Hey, Kdub, we got a caller in right quick. Hold on.
Caller, we got a special guest for you before you, Kdub. Caller, tell us your name and where you calling from. One more time,
Who is that?
One more time.
Yeah, I was calling to talk to the NBA guru, Kdub. Kdub, what's going on, man? It's your man David from Jersey City.
What's going on, brother? How you, man?
What's good? What's good? How's everything?
Everything is good. What you anything you want to know about? It sounds like you got something on the tip of your tongue you want to say.
Wait, I can't hear you. Say that again.
He's asking if you got something that you want to ask him about the NBA.
Yeah, I want to know. I mean, you talking about everything else. Jay talking about the 16-3 Chicago Bulls, man. I'm saying, my man D Rose been out for a couple of years. We still been rocking and rolling. What's up? What's up?
Well, Chicago Bulls 16-3. Like I stated, they are amongst the leaders. I should say hot teams, but Derrick Rose has been out with the bad toe and it hasn't affected them. But there is something that you may not know is that as of today, Luol Deng is out indefinitely with a torn ligament in his left hand. Granted, it's not in his shooting hand, but it's in his left hand. And Luol Deng is silent key to that team. You know, he can play. He played the opposing team's best perimeter player. He's one of the better three-point shooters on their team, and he does a lot of the intangibles. You know, so granted, we wanted to see how they would play without Derrick Rose, and obviously with them sitting at 16-3, they can play well without Derrick Rose. Now we'll get to see how they play without Luol Deng.
That's a good question. That's a good scenario. Look out on that.
Thank you for the call, Damon. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, D.
About Washington.
You know what? To be honest, if you're a coach in Washington, you know your career is set to fail.
Stop.
Well,
Don't stop.
no.
Stop.
Let me say what it is that when Flip was there, if I'm not mistaken, you still had Gilbert Arenas, you had Antoine James, you had a lot of good players there. It's just that due to some surrounding issues, for less of a better word, that's why they blew that team up. But when Flip Saunders came there, he was promised a veteran-laden team, and now look at the team now.
But can they win more than 20 games?
Is young cats.
Can they stay out the lottery? I mean, they're in the lottery every year. They've been in the lottery ever since they were the Bullets. So come on now.
That's up to them. And Randy Whitman is going to be the coach for the rest of the year. And it'll be interesting to see if they buy if he's the voice that the young cats listen to. You got John Wall, who's electrifying. He's one of the better point guards in the league. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they turn it around, if they can turn it around.
Hey Dub, you got any games that we need to? Well, actually, before I ask you about the games that we need to be watching, what's going on in the world's most famous arena? I know that the New York Knicks have lost 6 games straight coming into the night's game. The Knicks are playing in Charlotte. I believe the tip-off was at 7, so obviously we're unaware of what's going on there. I am clearly on record as being a New York Knicks fan. My fanship predates Patrick Ewing's drafting, so you're not talking to a bandwagoner here, which you know all about. My question is this. You got a team with Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony, Tyson Chandler, soon-to-be Baron Davis. Iman Shumpert is playing like he's been in the league for at least a year or two, not just playing in his 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th game. My point is he's playing much better than the rookie that he is. Why the hell are the Knicks 6-10?
Let's just put it out there, Marcus.
It's a number of different reasons. You have Carmelo Anthony, who just this past weekend, kind of questioned in regards to his shot taking and how much of a leadership role he should take on the team. You have Amari Stoudemire, who is not playing as the Amari Stoudemire that everybody knows and likes. He's not. It seems as though he's questioning a lot of his particular moves. You have a situation where you have Tyson Chandler and Amari Stoudemire clogging up the hole. So the spacing is real off. You have a situation where you have a coach who's not a defensive coach and trying to implement that in a short season and trying to get that to kind of work. There's a lot of different areas. You know, you have a situation where your point guard is really going to be your two guard when a point guard that has not played for you comes off of an injury. So, you know, that's a big issue. You have a backup point guard who's not really a backup. He's not a let's say set up point guard. He's more of a scoring point guard coming off the bench. There's a lot of different things going on, and like I said last week, it's kind of you know what they can, you see what they can be if they come together as a unit. But as of right now, it's just the fact of, you know, they're trying to tread water, trying to get into this D'Antoni system, and it's evident in the record right now. You know, they've lost 6 straight.
Six straight.
It's very frustrating for Knicks fans to look at this team and know that this is not a 6-10 team.
Hey, Kdub, give me a percentage chance of that Mike D'Antoni will actually last the season.
It is you want my personal or what you? My personal opinion. I wish he could leave tomorrow.
I mean, in the interest of full disclosure, we've had this conversation.
I would say that he's good. It's probably about a good 70%. I would say 70% chance that he plays out. He coaches for the rest of the year, but anything can happen. Let him lose maybe four more games.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Percentages. So every game that they continue to lose, his percentage goes down goes up as far as him getting the boot.
I'm a disagree.
I don't think that the cast of players that they have, that it is a D'Antoni type of team. You know, one thing I'll leave it on this. One thing about the D'Antoni system is that you have to have the type of point guard that is a distributor,
right.
which was Steve Nash.
Right.
I give a lot of success of D'Antoni's system to Steve Nash, not necessarily Mike D'Antoni.
Well, here's the thing.
That type of a player, and you know, someone like a Raymond Felton can run his system.
All right, Dub. You know, here because we've debated this, and here's where I disagree with you. For the record, you called it when he was hired. He shouldn't have been hired as the coach of the Knicks, and I disagree. I disagreed with you then. I'm agreeing with you now that he should go. Where I disagree with you is the percentages. I think he 100% will finish this season. 100%. I don't think that he's going to be fired at all. Hold up. Let me finish. I don't think he's going nowhere. His number one ally is Donnie Walsh. We know Donnie Walsh isn't in charge there any longer. But I don't see them firing him in the middle of a shortened season. And the other thing is, who are they going to replace him with? Nobody that's sitting on the bench. Maybe Mike Woodson. Maybe since he's been a head coach. But Herb's had his chance. The only big name that's out there, and here's where I'm going to let you jump back in. The only big name that's out there won a championship as a player for the New York Knicks and won a ton of championships as a coach of Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, and that man is Phil Jackson. What you got to say about that?
Hey, let's have a press conference tomorrow. If we can pull it off, let's do it.
Yeah, well,
so, I would say there's a couple of other names out there. You know, man, listen, I would be happy pretty much with a lot of other players, a lot of other people. Mike Fratello being one. To tell you the truth, I think we dropped the ball by not hiring Mark Jackson, but that's a whole other thing. I agree with you somewhat. If they were to let him go, it would have to be or her. I mean, you're just basically trying to. It seems to me that you're just trying to fill the season out. I just, like I said, you know as well as I do, and I've never really had confidence in this guy to bring any type of championship. But I will say this, he has been around for the turnaround, but damn, you know, what type of turnaround we got right now?
One last question. We're going to leave it here. One last question. Give me your games of the week.
Games of the week. I got tonight, Portland against Memphis. Portland, better team, one of the better teams in the league, and got Memphis that's on that 7-game winning streak. Wednesday, Indiana against Chicago. Chicago is, like Damon said, Chicago is one of the top 2 teams in the league, and a lot of people don't talk about Indiana, but Indiana is one of the better teams. They're 11-4, right behind the Bulls. Friday night, Knicks against Miami on ESPN.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Sunday, Chicago against Miami, ESPN.
Yeah, it is. Kdub, we're going to leave it there.
And the last one I'm going to tell you is Oklahoma City, LA Clippers. Clippers. Hopefully by then, Chris Paul will be back, and Kevin Durant, best player, one of the top three, arguably top three best players in the league.
That's what I'm talking about. We're going to leave it there, Kdub. Appreciate the information. NBA chat with Kdub. You can check us on the podcast, on the Facebook page, on the homepage. Ain't No Half Steppin with Marcus J, and on our personal pages. We're going to leave it there. Kdub, thanks for the info. We're going to get with you next week, bro.
Nookman 25.
All right, Kdub.
That's what's up. All right. It is time to get into the NFL. We're going to talk about the Baltimore Ravens and their big win over the weekend. Excuse me, and their big loss over the weekend.
I like the way you said it the first time.
I'm clowning. And then, of course, what more can I say? What more can I say? I didn't play this song by accident.
Lord. That's the reason why you got the music.
I was wondering why Jay-Z was
Ain't no
on.
half Steppin Marcus J.
Man.
And what more can I say? New York Football Giants. Be back in a minute.
I can't let a day go by without me being fly, fresh to death. Head to toe to the day I rest. And I don't wear jerseys, I'm 30 plus. Give me a crisp pair of jeans, nigga, button up. S-dots on my feet, make my cycle complete. What more can I say? Google, play the beat.